What's up, guys? Chris here from Signs of Life, back once again with another tutorial. I know I'm going hard on the tutorials, but I figure while we're still here sitting at, only a couple hundred subscribers, you got to go hard on the tutorials first. So that way, when we reach 50,000 subs one day, we can travel the world, go interview some ambient producers, film on location. I can upgrade this piece of crap Nikon camera that I have. We'll do all kinds of things. But in the meantime, we're at the bottom looking towards the top. So we do what ambient producers do and we produce. So that's what we're going to do. Today's tutorial was actually requested by one of you guys. So I really appreciate that. This is a tutorial that obviously I had kicking around in my head before we even started. But you know what? I was like, all right, it's finally time to do it. And this is going to be a Serum pad tutorial. And I'm really excited to bring this out because I love Serum, and a lot of you guys want to know why Serum. Why is it so special if you don't have it? Or maybe you know about Serum, but maybe you never thought about using Serum like this, or just want to know how to create a pad. All right, so as always, before we start, smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys feel called to do so. And we're going to get started. Now, today's tutorial is not a full-on walkthrough. It's just how to create an ambient pad using Serum, because my first sound set, Ancient Technology, was for Serum, and I learned so much about the synth through that process. Now, Serum has been around for like 7-8 years already, and it's still on version 1, right? And Steve and the team, they keep just iterating on this thing and updating it, and there's something really special about Serum. And I love this synth, and there's good reason why, and I'm about to show you. So we're gonna start here at the wavetable editor, all right? The wavetable editor is very powerful, and it's also deeply complex. But at the surface level, you can get by and just do a couple certain things to make it very quick, fast, and efficient. All right, so we have a grid here, and this grid is divided into however many sections you want, and you can take it all the way down to 0. Let's just go, we can start at 1 here, and when it's at 1 to 1, you can actually play with some of these shapes over here on the left. And that's really handy. So you can just obviously you can play these shapes, right? You can, I don't know, you have like a kind of a siny rampy thing. You have a full sine wave right here. You have a line. And it's pretty, you can actually add noise here, whatever. So then if you take it down to 0, what you can do is you can just take the line and then just start drawing in do. Now what's happening up here at the top, this is just like in Vital, you have the harmonics and the phase here on the top and bottom. They call it bin here. There's a lot of math in Serum that I don't understand, and it's beyond my pay grade. But you know what? I'm a musician, right? I know how to make music. I know how to make it sound good. So that's all that really matters. So down here on the bottom right, you have these little options where you can there's formulas here, okay? And it's like, oh yeah, you can do that. And look, see this whole math formula appears, and which is pretty dang cool. Like for those of you who understand, I guess this is trigonometry, right? You understand, or algebra, whatever. You can change these numbers. You can actually go in here and say, oh, well, I'm gonna change that number, what? I don't know, 144. Whoa, and then you have another wave show up, right? It's pretty cool, okay? But for us, muggles, we're just gonna straight up go 0 to 0 and just start drawing some. I said muggles on this channel. That's pretty funny. So I'm just gonna draw some wavetables here using this line, and that's cool. And what I'm gonna do, actually, I didn't mean to do that crazy number, but all right, we're back. Okay, so anyway, I'm just gonna draw a wavetable in here, and what we're gonna do is, like the Hydra synth, I'm gonna add frames into this wavetable, and then we're gonna morph between those frames. Now, Hydrasynth has a very similar implementation as this. And Hydrasynth had to have taken pages out of Serum's playbook. I mean, there's even wavetables that are a nod to X4 Records at the end. I mean, it just, I don't think Hydra would exist without Serum. And that's how much of it's not a direct one-to-one, but it's more like a really big inspiration of how Hydra came to be was probably through the synth. I'm speculating here, but it's probably the case. So we're gonna create another frame in this wavetable. We're gonna draw again, and we're gonna maybe just draw something a little more complex. We're gonna add maybe some harmonics here, and we get something like that. That's cool, and that's different from our first frame. And then we can just start adding frames. Now what we can do here is we can actually go to the singles and maybe take I don't know, a square. No, that's a little awkward for a pad. Let's do a sine with some harmonics like that. Okay, that's cool. That's our third frame. And then our fourth frame, we can do, let's say, organish. Ooh, I like that one. And then like add some harmonics, change the phase a little bit. That is very organish. I like that. Okay, cool. And then we'll do like a down kind of sawy thing. All right, after that. And then we'll do like, I don't know, we'll just do some random and then we'll. All right, so we have, well, I mean, as a nod to Hydrosynth, we use 8 different frames because that's all you can do on the Hydras. You can morph between 8 different cycles of the wavetable, which is fine. It's enough. But Serum, you can have up to 256, I think, which is a lot, which is awesome, right? So you can repeat this process however many times you want, and you're gonna get something like this. Watch this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all 8 of these frames, and we're gonna come up here to morph, and we're gonna go crossfade. And now what it's done is it's created 256 cycles to this wavetable in 8 frames. And we're gonna go back, and now look what we have. We're gonna go into 3D. Oh yeah. We got this beautiful morphing wavetable with 8 different stops along the way. And it's awesome because now that's a perfect start to our pad. I mean, we've got to have some textures in there, right? And you can already hear the sound of Serum. That oscillator sounds beautiful, right? Okay, so there's a start to our pad. Now, what we can do is obviously instantly just tie this LFO1 to the wavetable position, and we can just kind of go like this. All right, now we're rolling like that. Let's go 8 bars, and we'll go 8 bars. So now we're cycling through our newly created wavetable. We're gonna turn the level down a little bit. Now you don't have to cycle over the whole thing, so you can use this little like horseshoe looking bracket right here, kind of go like that, and maybe you want to focus on a certain section of this, like from there to there. Now this is gonna cycle through that. That's cool. It's cycling at 8 bars on a triangle shape. You can change the shape of the wavetable here, obviously. The sine in Serum is interesting because it kind of speeds up. All right, we'll go with that. Okay, so that's a sine LFO hitting into our wavetable position. All right, now looking back in 2D, look at that. It's going through each snapshot, and it's gonna go back and like this. Let's go at 4 bars. Oh yeah. And we'll stretch this out just a little bit. Like that. Maybe go a little further in the wavetable. All right, cool. So now we have the base to our pad, okay? Now, Serum has 1 filter. So it's 1 filter to rule them all, okay? And there are different, you can obviously switch these on and off. So this is now controlling layer A or oscillator A. All right, and then you have B here, which we haven't even turned on yet. Then you have the noise oscillator and the sub oscillator, okay? And the sub can also have, noise and sub have a direct out option, so you don't have to like go through the filter, so it's just kind of like a, you know, either or kind of thing. Either switch on direct out or switch on the filter covering it. Doesn't matter. So now, one of the other things that maybe you might not know about Serum is that you have this hidden randomized modulator here on the last page. I guess they couldn't fit it, or he likes it back here. It's chaos. So the chaos modulator is down here at the, you know, in the back at the end. And the way you access that is you can either access it through the matrix, or you can go like this and right click on any of the knobs here and say mod source chaos 1. So now our pan is now controlled by chaos 1. And we can, in the matrix, we can say if that's either bipolar or not. So I can click type, and that's unipolar and that's bipolar, right? So there we go. So now it's panning in a chaos pattern at a rate that I've set as kind of a low rate. I don't know, like 0.077, right? So now it's panning and it's moving. We're cycling through the wavetable. That's dope. I like that. And we haven't added any effects or even messed with the envelopes yet, okay? So now let's try that. So let's, obviously, for a pad, you want to make it, I don't know, 3 seconds, add some release there, make it like 6 seconds, okay? We can add some filter movement here. You can even add filter movement on chaos. There are 2 chaos modulators, so we could use that to our advantage. if we want. If not, let's save the filter to the end. Now we can repeat the process. Turn on oscillator. Now oscillator B is going straight through the filter because it's not even clicked on yet. If I click it on, I'm going to click it on. But I like to design my wavetables first. So we can do that process again, or we could just choose something like one of the default wavetables down here in analog. We could do like MB-SAW or something. It's got some, it already has some frames built in. That's kind of interesting. Maybe we'll go, what I like to do for ancient technology, I use some of these spectral. These are kind of interesting for a second oscillator. That's a nice texture-y kind of thing. That's got some nice texture to it, so we can just obviously just like that. But you know what we'll do is we'll slow this down and then we'll use some of the spectral morphing to maybe, yeah. That's what interests me, right? So then we'll go like that and we'll do on the bend. There we go. Now you got some nice movement with that pad there. And again, that's going straight through. So we'll, now we got complete control. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're really getting somewhere. All right. So let's add a noise oscillator here. And we're going to, let's pick something from ancient technology. We'll maybe pick the pin shake. Let's try that. Okay, that works. Now what I love about the noise oscillator in Serum, it has a pitch knob that's really fast and super accessible. And you might be able, I'm gonna turn off these oscillators real quick, just focus on noise oscillator. You might be able to find something really cool. Check this out. You could actually cycle through the pitch. Let's use Chaos 2 to cycle through the pitch. Let's do that. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a great idea. Okay, so then we're gonna slow it down and it's gonna slowly modulate through the pitch. That's a little too slow. There we go. That's me in my garage, by the way, messing with one of my daughter's shakers in her toy collection. A fun life of a sound designer. All right, so then you got, and then we'll also use Chaos 1 to modulate the pan of the noise. And I'll leave that out of the filter. And the last thing we can do is turn on the sub oscillator, put it to direct out, maybe make it a triangle, turn the level way down. Just for that bass, we can turn it down and have, there we go. That's nice. All right, now let's add some effects here, okay? So we're going to add, let's start with this hyper, you know what I didn't even do? We didn't even do unison on this one. You can add some unison real quick. Now check this out. Add a couple more voices, but what you gotta do is you gotta come over here to the bottom and say voicing and make sure you got enough voices to cover what you're gonna make. So let's say we'll go 14 voices and we'll add 3 more in unison or 5 more and then change the detuning. And that gives your oscillator a little bit more width. Again, we haven't even added any effects yet. All right. So again, what I did was I added more voices to compensate for the fact that I was adding more unison, which is adding more voices. So then I wouldn't, run into any issues with how many keys I was playing at the same time. So let's go back over to effects and let's just, bread and butter this thing. We're gonna go to 1/8. We'll go to 1/8 and we'll change the filtering, make it a ping pong. We'll go to mix at 60, say the feedback at like 50 something. We'll add a compressor, but we'll change the compressor order to the top. We'll add a multi-band compressor. There we go. And finally, you know what I'm gonna do. Add some reverb, all right? We're gonna make the decay about maybe 11 seconds. Turn up the size and turn up the mix. Here we go. Oh yeah. I love it. As for my final thoughts, we could probably add some sort of filter movement in here. Right? The more you take the filter down, it kind of gets really ethereal, especially with that beautiful reverb on the end. I love it. Oh man, that's ancient technology too right there. That's a start. Coming soon to Material Sound Sets. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. If this tutorial was helpful for you, I am very glad. And I really appreciate you guys for liking this video, subscribing to the channel. Like I said, we're trying to build a community here. And that's one of the topics on a later video that I have coming up. We're gonna build a huge community around this, and it's gonna be great. You guys are all a part of that. So thank you for being with me on this journey. I very much appreciate it. And hopefully you guys who are using Serum out there can benefit from this tutorial. All right? So as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. My name is Signs of Life, and I'll see you all on the other side.